Hi all, thank you so much for finding time and joining us for the F&B Talks by the Restaurant Times. F&B Talks is a knowledge series through which we bring together people who seek a deeper understanding of the worlds of restaurant. Our aim is to build a knowledge base on the finer nuances of running a global restaurant business. Today we have with us Mr. Anmol Mehta, who is the managing partner of Little Italy UAE. Anmol has over 8 years of experience in the hospitality industry. He started his career as a dishwasher and today is the managing director of Little Italy UAE. He has made a name for himself with his can do attitude, extreme passion for customer service, and creating innovative strategies for the restaurant industry. Having a love for food and a degree from Roches International School of Hotel Management, Anmol is among the prominent personalities in the UAE's hospitality circle. With experience in the UAE, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and India, his mission is to spread sheer joy of food all over the GCC market by helping restaurants grow in the right market conditions. His one and only one motto in life is there is only one boss, the customer, and he can fire everybody in the company from the chairman on down simply by spending his money. Welcome to FNB Talks and More. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Nicholas. Thank you.
Well, let's get going. We'd like to ask much insights as we can from you in the next 30 to 40 minutes. So, my first question to you, Anmol, is tell me about the journey of Little Italy in UAE. What are the factors that you attribute to its success in the region?
See, the most important thing which I started realizing it once I joined when I came back to Dubai was customer service. Everybody can make a pizza, everybody can make a pasta, everybody can make a nachos. But the most important thing is that when you are making it, what is the extra factor that you add into your food? Some people say, oh, we have an Indian touch. Some people say authentic Italian. Some people say, you know what, we come back only because we love the customer service at the restaurant itself. Having said that, for me personally, the biggest and the most important thing is the way you treat your customers when they come into the restaurant until they leave. So that's one of the most important parts. The other is the kind of target market that I go into. Like for me, because we are a vegetarian Italian restaurant, we generally target the ones who are vegan or who are vegetarian in general. To which we have started realizing a huge growth in the market when it comes to vegetarian food, and hence as soon as the growth increased on year to year basis, like I know for a fact that we're projecting approximately a 10.4% of growth in the vegan industry for the next 10 years, which is a huge amount of growth from what it used to be before. So that's one thing that has helped us a lot. The third and the most important thing for me was owner's involvement. See, what happens is, my father used to tell me this before when I started my career, and he said that if you are not there in your restaurant, then the staff is going to enjoy it. So it's always important for you to be there to make sure that everything is going according to the way you want it to go.
Yeah.
Uh, like I just opened a new restaurant with minimal staff right now in Business Bay in Dubai. I only have three staff for a thousand five hundred square feet restaurant, which is very less because my most important thing is customer service.
Yeah.
So it's very less. But what I started realizing is that if you're particularly there at the restaurant, you don't require an extra fourth. You can take care of by yourself itself. So that
Right.
is one thing that we started realizing it, and hence we're going towards the concept of owner's involvement. Uh, Fourth is, of course, everybody says it. It's food cost control. So reduce your food cost by innovative ideas, new technologies, etc., etc., and accordingly you can control your cost. Like in India, as of now, what the mother company what they do is we have a central kitchen in Pune, and we disperse all our ingredients, all our sauces from Pune itself, which then leads to a decrease in food cost because we do it in bulk, so it's cheaper for everybody to take it. There is something that I'll be very honest with you. There's something that I started realizing during the pandemic, which is also important for a success for a normal restaurant or literally in general, was staff satisfaction. Normally, nobody tries to put that as an important factor, but I just we've started realizing that how if you keep your staff happy, the staff keeps the customer happy. and that is something that we did realize it before, but we never could implement it in Dubai.
Hmm.
But during and after the pandemic, we started doing that, and a huge difference in our strategies after that. So
Interesting.
it helped us a lot.
Wonderful. And I think you mentioned somewhere, that of course one of the key USPs for your brand is that it's all vegetarian.
Right.
Now in India, of course, we understand ki wahan pe, this whole palette of vegetarian people is quite phenomenal. But tell us about how are you able to build that concept in UAE? How was it initial response, and how are you able to build that niche in a vegetarian Italian cuisine in the market?
I'll be honest, as of now, more than the Indians being vegetarian, we have the foreigners, or as we call it, the other nationalities being more vegetarian control. As of now, again,
Hmm.
these things change as soon as the veganism and
Yeah.
all of that came into play. Now, having a vegetarian restaurant in India and in Dubai, even though it is a good thing for me, I don't believe in the concept of veganism. I believe in the concept of giving vegetarian food because that is a niche market that I'm targeting. But the ones who say vegan, I'm not a big fan of people only pertaining towards that kind of a concept. But having said that, see, there has been a huge more than the vegetarian concept. It depends on your food. See, there's a change in people's mindset from a non-vegetarian palate to a
Hmm.
vegetarian palate. Okay, that's one the change in the concept of people, which is good for us, obviously. But the food is most important. Like for me, as of now, in our restaurants in UAE, we have so many locals. So that's Arabs coming into the restaurant to eat. They come in thinking there is non-veg.
Hmm.
They come into the restaurant, and the locals have that concept of not leaving the restaurant once they come inside. They will order something or the other.
Hmm.
So they come into the restaurant, they eat, and then when they leave, they come to me, or they take my number and say, you know what, I'm going to come back with more people. So
Yeah.
it all depends on the food that you have, and as of now in the industry, you have so much of mock meat available, so much of vegan meat available that that's a substitute always.
Correct. Correct.
Uh, and see, there is one thing that I used to work for LPQ 7 years back.
Right.
So when I
Absolutely.
used to work for LPQ, I still remember that I used to work for Alshaya, and Alshaya used to come under
Yeah.
LPQ. So I remember one of my area managers telling me, "Sir, add organic anywhere, you can double the price."
Hmm.
And that's when I started realizing that organic, okay, understandable, but let's go to the niche market of the Indians, or of any expat in UAE or in GCC as a whole, and target the vegetarian market with the food being exactly how we want it to be served. See, there's one thing that when I started my career, there was
Hmm.
something that that I realized, that you are going to serve food what the customer likes, not what you like,
Right.
because only then you can make the customer happy. Because if you are going to start, I don't so I love garlic, and I love it to another level. Okay,
Hmm.
I can just have garlic just like that. But I started realizing that my garlic taste and what people like is very different. I'm not going to add the same amount of garlic which I add for myself, for the customer itself.
Correct.
A simple concept, and that's how I started realizing how I need to make sure that the customers are happy with the food that I serve. Third point being is that the Jain community as a whole, Jain community as a whole are the is a community that does not go to a non-vegetarian restaurant at all. So even though they serve non-veg, they don't go. So that market I've captured really well when it comes to that. I'll be honest, there are so many restaurants as of now in Dubai who've taken my stuff and they've copied the whole menu as it is,
Wow.
and they make the food. But they don't understand is the reason that they don't succeed is because you cannot have the exact kind of service, exact kind of feeling that we give a customer when they come to the restaurant to eat. Moreover, they also have non-veg inside. So the customers that come to me are never going to come to him. So I
Absolutely.
have a restaurant. I just spoke to one of the owners
Hmm.
some weeks back, some days back, at which I saw that the menu is the same. The most important dishes that we have in our menu is what he has.
Hmm.
And I gave him a call. I said, brother, I'll be honest, I don't, it's okay for me. You're not a competition for me at all.
Hmm.
Ethically, it is wrong more than everything else.
Yeah. Right.
But still, again, we made a brand name, we made a name, so it doesn't matter on how
Yeah.
it works, how it doesn't work. But at the
Correct.
same time, it is just important to realize how we put in our sweat and hard work in just making a brand.
Hmm. No,
And then
totally.
after that, as soon as you can take a staff and let it go. So so my mama,
Hmm.
so mama used to tell me this, that loyalty can be sold for 100 rupees.
Hmm.
You give another staff 100 rupees more, they are going to go to another customer, another owner and work for them and make the same food for you.
Correct.
It all depends on how you treat your customers and more importantly your staff.
Absolutely.
But again, the vegetarian concept has increased in GCC as a whole. Again, if you ask me, Saudi is the same like Dubai, I say no.
Hmm.
But is Kuwait the same? I say yes. Kuwait has changed a lot in these past years.
Hmm.
I left Kuwait 6 years back now. If
Yeah.
I compare Kuwait with Dubai right now, it's completely different when it comes to the food palette of people.
Right.
There's a huge increase in expats in Kuwait itself,
Hmm.
which has also led to veganism as a whole in that region itself.
Interesting. Right. So I
And
think,
I'll be honest, the biggest example is Papa John's.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Papa
Started.
John's, from a non-vegetarian concept in the whole of pizzas,
Yeah.
they went completely towards vegan, and I mean, to be honest, the food is amazing now.
Hmm.
They've changed the item, they've changed things. It's beautiful.
Wonderful. No, absolutely. No, good that you are pointing about these cultural commonalities or differences in the region. Because my next question is basically that about your expansion and growth plans in the UAE. So tell us, Anmol, where you are right now in the UAE, and other plans to expand in other markets.
See,
I.
as of now in UAE, we are in a place called Karama,
Mhm.
a place called Business Bay, and a place called GLT. Now, having said this, after what has happened is that due to the pandemic, there were a lot of restaurants that were sort of selling. There were a lot of restaurants, unfortunately, which were not working well. So we decided to capture many of the restaurants
Hmm.
for two reasons. One, it is cost benefit because the 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 costing of those restaurants is much lesser than what you would invest to make your own restaurant again.
Hmm.
That is one. So we are now planning to open Al Barsha in the next 15 25 days.
Yeah.
Just the
Right.
last paperwork is pending, and we are we. I just had a meeting 2 days back in terms of Kuwait and Saudi. See, what happens is, if you don't know the market well in terms of how it's going to be for the future, and don't want to invest more money inside, the best way to do it is the cloud kitchen.
Yeah.
But having said that, our plan is to open a flagship outlet, and after that have dark kitchens. The cloud kitchens are my mama calls it the hybrid
Hmm.
kitchen.
Hmm.
I think in India it's called the hybrid
Yeah.
kitchen.
Yeah. We used
Yeah.
to call it the hybrid model. You have the hero store, and then you have these multiple dark.
So having said all of that, see the future looks very good when it comes to GCC as a whole. See, the Indian market is very saturated. Firstly,
Hmm.
secondly, in India we have a brand which which fortunately nobody can compete with. So we are except in Delhi. Delhi people don't understand still that vegetarian food is good, but or even Delhi and Punjab side, the north side in general.
Correct.
But but still, we are still trying to instill the concept of vegetarian cuisine in India, vegetarian Italian cuisine in India.
Mhm.
But in Dubai and in UAE and in GCC as a whole, there's a exponential amount of investment, but at the same time growth, which I can see as of now.
Hmm.
We are starting a new concept with salads and with mock meat, which will,
Okay.
in the name of Little Italy itself, but which will also lead to more customers coming in, which are not Indians. Because see, as of now, even in Dubai, the biggest vendors for me are the Indians.
Yeah.
Even a restaurant as like Business Bay, which is more to do with business crowd, I still expect more Indians to come in than anybody else. So that is one thing for sure that requires to change when I start putting some salads and everything inside. So that's one thing that is going to help me a lot. But my next plan is Al Barsha, which is in Dubai itself. The second outlet opens in Abu Dhabi in the next 2 months.
Hmm.
I've seen the place, but there's a problem with the landlords. I'm just trying to sort that out. And then it's Saudi, because Saudi has led to a lot of tourism in the last 2 to 3 years.
Correct. Yeah.
Unfortunately, 1 year you cannot count. Last 2 years, but
Correct.
a lot of tourism, which has then led to a lot of investment in that region,
Hmm.
which also then leads me to think that maybe opening a restaurant in Saudi is always better. See, I'll be honest. In
Mm.
Kuwait, when I say 7 years back,
Yeah.
uh, there was Pizza Hut, there was Papa John's, there was Domino's, there was different restaurants, but the only restaurant that worked was Joey's Pizza.
Hmm.
Joey's Pizza used to. I have no idea what they used to do. I'll be very honest. I was even young that time and never thought of opening something on my own.
Hmm.
But Joey's Pizza used to be completely packed 24/7, 365. Like, I'll be honest, like Papa John's Pizza Hut here in Dubai,
Right.
Papa John's Pizza is completely packed all the time.
Hmm.
Joey's Pizza had never had discounts,
Hmm.
never had any offers, but still completely packed. So
Wow.
homegrown, completely
Yeah.
homegrown, and used to work out very well.
Correct.
So yes, Kuwait is my Saudi is my next step, and
Right.
then goes to Kuwait.
Wonderful. Awesome. So I think, my next question would be that, you've already touched upon some of these points in your previous answers, which is, say, cloud kitchen, going hybrid business model, looking at different menu innovations. But, pandemic has, of course, completely shaken up the industry.
Right.
And you being in the market for such a long time, what are the early trends that you see are going to be emerging in the space in the coming few months? What do you think are the new shifts that you will see in the restaurant industry?
There was a shift. Now there's no shift.
Yeah.
What I mean to say is,
Mm.
I remember, and I
Mm.
remember very clearly because literally UAE never, or even India to be. I don't know about India much in terms of what happened during the pandemic. I was stuck in Dubai,
Mhm.
but literally UAE was completely taken aback when it came to delivery model. We had never done delivery was 10% of our sales. We never cared about delivery, and we thought we would never care for two reasons. One is that our food is completely vegetarian. So what happens is that when it travels from one place to the other, it starts getting soggy or dry. I just going to give you a small example. Even the cheese that we use in our pizzas is completely vegetarian. There's something called rennet, which makes it non-vegetarian. So we use something called microbial rennet, which is vegetarian rennet in general, which then leads to a pizza becoming dry and so dry in 10 minutes.
Mm.
So we never cared about delivery as a whole. Pandemic struck, and then we said, you know what, that's the only option.
Mm.
We cannot do anything about it. So we started doing deliveries. Even when it came to deliveries, we we did not do anything. Not do anything in the sense, uh, we were still at 10% of our sales. We did not change. Then there came a point which I started realizing is that is because the reason why we are on 10% is because of the commission based models of our aggregators.
Mm.
And that's when we started realizing that, you know what, let's do one thing. Let's open our own website, let's do our own app, and then let's do it
Right.
as a whole. To then I opened my own website, opened our own application, tried telling all the customers to order through our phone and our website, which then led to an increase of revenue by 25%, which then I had a 35% increase in the complete delivery model. Also, of course, that only led to because my commission was taken off by Zomato, everybody, because I started ordering online through
Mm.
our website.
Mm.
But there was a change. Now the change is very weird because now what has started happening is that the customers go to a place where they find it safe.
Mm.
Like I was just talking to some of my colleagues some weeks back, and I just said that we are making more money than what we used to make before pandemic.
Mm.
Touch wood. But
Yeah.
that is that is only and only because the people are realizing that, you know what, let's go to a place which has which is safe for us to stay. Like I have a customer, I have many customer, I
Yeah.
have many customers who order for hot about a bowl of hot water,
Hmm.
and they ask you for the cutlery and say, you know what, let's do one. You know what, I'll clean the cutlery myself. So I really have customers that way. I had
Wow.
a customer 3 days back who called for a jug of hot water and dipped every single plate, every single cutlery in the hot water and then only used it.
Wow.
So, and again, my staff said, "Sir, if I'm getting 500 bucks from him to just as a bill, you what? I will give you my heart also. Take whatever you want to take." So, having said all of that, it's all
Correct.
depends on what people are thinking. People's mindset is very different.
Right.
In India, people don't care anymore. See, simple. But in Dubai, they care for two reasons because it's stricter in Dubai. At the same time, the people in Dubai who have not lived in India get scared.
Hmm.
Simple concept. So
Correct.
there was a change which I had obviously seen during the pandemic, after just after the pandemic.
Hmm.
But once Dubai started restricting to de-restrict their restrictions, it was very easy because people
Right.
started coming in, did not care about anything. It was completely fine.
Correct.
But of course, as I said, uh,
Yeah.
the small restaurants are not doing that well now
Hmm.
because they don't feel safe.
Right.
But when it comes to bigger restaurants, they all are doing much better than what they used to do before. Much better.
Absolutely. No, that totally makes sense. Absolutely, all the points. I can completely relate to what you're saying. So basically, you mentioned when in India you have this whole sourcing model where everything is produced in Pune and then you distribute it in other parts of the country. So how do you do that in UAE? How does your distribution work? How does your sourcing work? Just for us to understand that.
See, the most important reason why I want to open a flagship outlet is that
Okay.
flagship outlet generally is a bigger outlet than the other outlets, which would have with which we try to make everything at one go and then disperse it to everywhere else. See, what happens is there are three ways. Sorry, the first way is that because we're an Indian brand, everything comes from India, so the quality remains the same. But as I said, if the owner's involvement is already there in a different country, you don't require it to come from India when you can do it yourself in Dubai or in another country. So if I'm having in Dubai now, second option is to have a flagship outlet, have a bigger kitchen, and let everything go out from here to other restaurants. Which is your mise plus? Mise plus in general is that do it until the 90th percent, and the 10% then happens in another outlet. Just heating, mixing, and giving. Um, the third option is which is a possibility in Dubai because Dubai is a huge market in general, which is to have a central kitchen in Dubai in a particular area and then disperse it from there. But for that, you require three things. One is a lot of money, logistics support, and the third is that you require staffing in a way which you also have a central kitchen for also for other outlets. Wherein, as of now, is very difficult because of the restrictions that are placed for India and Dubai. See, I decided to grow in UAE only just before the pandemic. Just before the pandemic. Luckily, the pandemic struck, and the cost that I was paying at that time, I paid half during the pandemic. But my concept is that open a flagship outlet, have a bigger restaurant there, bigger kitchen there, and then start dispersing it. Have a different team, that's
Correct.
fine. But do it from the flagship outlet, or else open another restaurant which is as big as the flagship outlet, and then do it there itself.
Hmm.
But I try to do it from my Karama outlet for the only reason that it's with me, and I know that the quality will not change,
Right.
and
Right.
that is the only reason why we do it.
Perfect. Awesome. My next question and the last question I think of the discussion would be that we see that a lot of young entrepreneurs are also entering the food business in the region, not only UAE and Saudi and across the GCC. You being in the industry for the longest now and seeing different parts of the business, what would be your message to young people who are trying to enter the business at this point of time?
See, the most important message is that if you are embarrassed serving your friends, then don't do it. I remember I used to work in Hotel Orchid at the Mumbai airport, and I had so many of my friends suddenly coming in, and I had to open the door for them. Hello, sir, how are you? Good afternoon, good evening, whatever. And I remember the first time I did that, and I said, "Arey yaar, how can I do this to these people?" And then they come and talk behind my back. That this is what I'm doing. And I still remember I had a friend. So when I remember I had gone to a club with my with my group, and I had one of my friends telling me, this is your job anyway, serving customers, serving food.
Mm.
And it struck me, and I said, what the hell, yeah? Not
Yeah.
understanding. But when I started realizing this is my passion, and I like doing this. So if you
Right.
have the passion to serve your customers, to make food, to serve food, then do it. If you're
Right.
embarrassed giving it to anybody, don't. That's one.
Mm.
Second, if you're doing it as an investment, then don't do it. Because investment you can do in many other things and get more money also out of it. Okay, and much more money out of it in an investment somewhere else. But our restaurant industry is such that it's not more about investment; it's more about the name.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest, I keep telling this to everybody that for me the most important thing is name. Your name shouldn't go bad. So if you decide that way, if a name shouldn't go bad, what happens is because you don't want a name to go bad, your food will be good, your customer service will be good, your staff will be good, and the whole everything will be fine.
Yeah.
So that's second, and third is start small. And I have realized this, making a mistake on my own, to start small, see how it is, and then make it big.
Mm.
Uh, as everybody knows, the dark kitchen concept, the cloud kitchen concept, is something that everybody is going towards, which I think is a good thing to do, because having a cloud kitchen in a region that you don't know about, to start something small there, see how it goes, and then accordingly make it big, depending on how good it is. Like, I have so many restaurateurs who I tried helping them in Dubai, who opened it small in a different outlet as a dark kitchen, and now they have 7 8 restaurants.
Mm.
Which, luckily, touchwood, their menu worked, their food worked, and of course they knew what they wanted to do.
Correct.
But having said that, it's important to start small as of now. Why to spend money when you don't know where you stand? So,
Absolutely.
and my mama used to tell me this, and he's 52 right now,
Okay.
okay? And he still goes to work every single day. Obviously, that's he's still young, but he'll make sure that he goes to every single outlet every day. Even if you have, I mean, in India, he has six, seven restaurants. In
Mm.
no, sorry, in Pune, he will make sure to go to every outlet. When he goes to Bangalore, so if we have 8 in Bangalore also,
Mm.
he goes late at night, so he reaches in the morning,
Mm.
early morning. He sleeps in the hotel itself, starts work at 8, finishes everything by 12:30 at night, and then
Right.
takes a flight back to Pune to go back to office at 8 in the morning.
Wow.
So, having said that, this is very important. This is your industry, and this is
Absolutely.
the only thing that you can do. Like, I used to work for the golf club 8 years back, Emirates
Mm.
Golf Club, as a dishwasher, when I said, and I still remember one of my managers telling me that when everybody's laughing, unfortunately, you're crying, and when it's your time to cry, everybody will be working. So you don't have anybody at that particular time because your hours are so bad.
Correct.
I'm
Correct.
getting married. I'm getting married next year, and
Mm.
I sometimes feel so bad because the time that I have is
Mm.
so less. Because I start at 8 in the morning and get back at 2. So the
Correct.
only thing I want to do when I get back home is sleep. So, but
Understand.
that's something that you have to, for a better future. You have to
Correct.
unfortunately compromise on your present.
Absolutely. No,
That's
those are like really, really some words of wisdom from you, Anmol. But,
Thank you.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for this lovely conversation, Anmol. I think we learned a lot about your business, about your growth plans, and about your whole journey as a restaurateur in the region. And I just want to thank you for your time, and I wish you all the best for the future. And we'd love to do like a season 2 sometime next year when the
Next time I
business.
come to Dubai and we'll do together.
Oh, absolutely. We'll do that. Hopefully, after this pandemic gets over, yeah, we'll get a chance to meet face to face and do this together.
Great, great,
Great.
great.
Have a good day.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Same here. Take care.